opening music plays. Host, good morning, sports fans, and welcome to another exciting episode of Four-Year Starters Daily Lineup. I'm your host, your name, here to give you all the latest updates from the world of sports. It's Friday, July 21st, and we have quite the lineup of articles for you today. Background crowd noise. Host, but before we dive into the action-packed stories, let's start with a fun fact about today's date. On this day in 1899, the first recorded automobile accident occurred in New York City. Can you imagine the chaos on those streets back then? Just like an intense game, the birth of the automobile industry had its fair share of bumps along the road. And speaking of intense games, let's jump right into our first story. Upbeat music fades in. Host. In our thrilling opener, the Baltimore Orioles triumphed over the Tampa Bay Rays in a nail-biting showdown. It was a true display of determination and skill, as both teams fought tooth and nail for every run. The Orioles showed incredible resilience, securing their victory in the late innings. It's a reminder that in sports, as in life, it's not always about how you start, but how you finish. Sound of a crowd cheering. Host. But the excitement doesn't stop there. Our next story takes us to the Diamond, where the Atlanta Braves and the Seattle Mariners secured stunning wins. The Braves showcased their offensive firepower, leaving their opponents in awe. Meanwhile, the Mariners displayed impeccable pitching and defense, proving that every team has the potential to be a force to be reckoned with. It just goes to show that in sports, anything can happen, and underdogs can rise to the occasion. Upbeat music continues. Host. And now, let's switch gears to the world of football, where we have an intriguing story brewing. Rumor has it that Aaron Rodgers, the superstar quarterback, is settling in nicely with the New York Jets. After years of leading the Green Bay Packers, Rodgers is ready for a fresh start in the Big Apple. Will he find success in the city that never sleeps? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. Rodgers is a seasoned veteran who knows how to navigate the field with finesse. Sound of a football being thrown. Host. So, sports fans, grab your favorite game day snacks, sit back, and get ready for an action-packed episode. We'll be diving deep into these stories and more, bringing you all the thrilling highlights and analysis you crave. As always, remember that sports mirror life in so many ways. Whether it's resilience, teamwork, or the thrill of competition, sports have a way of reminding us what it means to be human. Upbeat music fades out. Host. That's all for now, but stay tuned for more episodes of Four-Year Starters Daily Lineup, your go-to podcast for all things sports. Until next time, keep cheering, keep believing, and keep embracing the incredible world of sports. Closing music plays. Transition. Host. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exhilarating episode of Sports Central, where we bring you all the latest and greatest from the world of sports. I'm your host, and today we have a lineup of headlines that will surely leave you on the edge of your seat. So strap in because it's time to dive right into the action. Reading headlines. Host. Our first story takes us to the grand stage of women's soccer. The football ferns of New Zealand have overcome immense tragedy to secure their first-ever Women's World Cup win. It's a victory that will go down in the history books, and the ferns have shown the world that they are a force to be reckoned with. Host. Shifting gears to the Diamond, the Baltimore Orioles have made a move to bolster their bullpen. They've acquired right-hander Shintaro Fujinami from the Oakland Athletics, and in return, sent minor league left-hander Easton Lucas packing. This trade adds some much-needed depth to the Orioles' pitching staff, and fans are eager to see Fujinami in action. Host. And finally, we turn our attention to the gridiron. The Alabama football program is no stranger to success, but this season brings some changes. With modifications in the coaching staff and a quarterback competition on the horizon, the Crimson Tide must adapt and evolve to maintain their dominance in college football. It's a thrilling race to see who will emerge as the leader of the pack. End of segment. In a thrilling opener of a four-game series, the Baltimore Orioles emerged victorious with a 4, 3 win over the Tampa Bay Rays. The game was decided in the 10th inning when Colton Cowser's sacrifice fly brought home Aaron Hicks for the winning run. The Orioles, who are currently leading the American League East standings, secured their 10th win in their last 12 games. Felix Bautista was the hero on the mound for Baltimore, pitching 2 scoreless innings in the 9th and 10th to earn the win. The Orioles' pitching staff performed admirably, striking out 14 Rays batters. However, the Orioles themselves also struggled with strikeouts, totaling 14 in the game. Despite the loss, the Rays continue to struggle, dropping their 5th consecutive game and 12th in their last 15 contests. Yandy Diaz provided a spark for Tampa Bay with a 2-run double, but he also struck out 3 times. The Rays managed to tie the game in the 7th inning after a double by Diaz, but were unable to hold on for the win. Both starting pitchers had solid outings. Kyle Gibson started for the Rays, allowing 3 runs on 7 hits and 2 walks with 8 strikeouts in 6+ innings. Tyler Glasnow took the mound for the Orioles, giving up 2 earned runs on 6 hits with 9 strikeouts and no walks in 7 innings. The decisive moment came in the 10th inning when Adam Frazier's sacrifice bunt advanced the automatic runner Hicks to third base, setting up Cowser's sacrifice fly for the winning run. In the bottom of the 10th, Bautista struck out Randy Arozarena before inducing Brandon Lowe to ground into a game-ending double play. With this win, the Orioles moved 1 game ahead of the Rays in the AL East standings. The Orioles' strong performance in recent weeks has propelled them to the top of the division, while the Rays continue to struggle and fall behind. Overall, it was an exciting game that showcased the Orioles' resilience and ability to come out on top in a close contest. The series between these 2 division rivals promises to be a thrilling battle for the top spot in the AL East. In another game, the Atlanta Braves salvaged the finale of a 3-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks with a 7-5 victory on Thursday afternoon. Austin Riley's go-ahead 3-run home run in the 8th inning proved to be the difference for the Braves. Matt Olson also had a big game for Atlanta, hitting 2 home runs and driving in 3 RBIs. The Diamondbacks built a 4-1 lead thanks to home runs from Dominic Canzone and Emmanuel Rivera, but the Braves rallied back with Olson's solo shot in the 7th. Corbin Carroll's solo home run in the 8th briefly gave the D-backs a 2-run lead, but Riley's heroics secured the win for Atlanta. Both starting pitchers, Zach Gallen for Arizona and Spencer Strider for Atlanta, were impressive, but it was the Braves' bullpen that held strong in the later innings. Kirby Yates picked up the win, while Raisel Iglesias closed out the game for his 17th save of the season. Overall, it was a much-needed victory for the Braves, who snapped a 4-game losing streak. The Seattle Mariners earned a 5-0 victory over the Minnesota Twins, thanks to an impressive performance from pitcher George Kirby and some key hits from Teoscar Hernandez and Mike Ford. Kirby pitched 7 scoreless innings, allowing just 4 hits and striking out 10 batters. Hernandez drove in 2 runs, including a solo home run, while Ford added a 2-run homer in the 8th inning. The Twins, who had been on a 7-game winning streak since the All-Star break, were held scoreless by Kirby and the Mariners' pitching staff. The victory helped the Mariners split their 4-game series with the Twins and improved their record to 3-4 on their current homestand. In summary, the Baltimore Orioles, Atlanta Braves, and Seattle Mariners all secured important victories in their respective games. The Orioles emerged victorious in a thrilling opener against the Tampa Bay Rays. The Braves salvaged the finale against the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Mariners shut out the Minnesota Twins. Aaron Rodgers, the former Green Bay Packers quarterback, has made a smooth transition to his new team, the New York Jets. After spending his entire career with the Packers, Rodgers sought advice from friends who have changed franchises late in their careers, such as Joe Pavelski and Carson Palmer. This guidance has helped him adjust to his new surroundings. Rodgers has wasted no time in making an impact with the Jets. He has already taken on the role of a mentor, helping his teammates learn the Jets' offense. His experience and leadership have been praised by offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett, with whom Rodgers had previously worked in Green Bay. One player whom Rodgers has formed a connection with is wide receiver Garrett Wilson. Rodgers even compared Wilson to his former teammate Davante Adams, a high compliment considering Adams' success in Green Bay. This connection with Wilson bodes well for the Jets' offensive potential. In a recent interview, Rodgers expressed optimism about the Jets' Super Bowl potential and the opportunity to be competitive beyond just 1 year. This indicates that he may have his sights set on returning to New York in 2024. However, before that can happen, his contract will need to be restructured to accommodate the Jets' salary cap. Despite the financial considerations, Rodgers has been enjoying his time with the Jets. He has been impressed by the team's young and talented roster and sees it as his responsibility to mentor and teach the younger players. This shows his commitment to the team's success and his willingness to contribute beyond his on-field performance. Overall, Rodgers' adjustment to the New York Jets has been seamless. He has formed connections with his new teammates, taken on a leadership role, and expressed optimism for the team's future. With Rodgers at the helm, the Jets have a strong foundation to build upon and compete in the AFC East Division. Note: this article is purely fictional and does not reflect real events or statements from Aaron Rodgers or the New York Jets. Upbeat music fades in. Host. And that's a wrap for another thrilling episode of 4-Year Starter. We've covered all the bases, hit it out of the park, and left it all on the field. I'm your host, and let me tell you, this podcast has been a grand slam from start to finish. Guest. Absolutely, it's been an incredible journey diving into the world of sports and discussing the tales of those true champions who have dominated their respective games for 4 whole years. We've witnessed the grit, determination, and never-give-up attitude that it takes to become a 4-year starter. Host. That's right, my friend. We've explored the stories of athletes who have shown unwavering commitment, overcoming obstacles and pushing their limits day in and day out. From the legends who became the backbone of their teams to the unsung heroes who silently led by example, these 4-year starters have left an indelible mark on the sports world. Guest. And let's not forget the incredible coaches, mentors, and teammates who have shaped these athletes into the stars they are today. It takes a village to nurture a 4-year starter, and we've celebrated the unwavering support systems that surround these incredible individuals. Host. Absolutely, my friend. So, before we wrap up this episode, we want to express our heartfelt gratitude to all our incredible guests who shared their inspiring stories with us. Your dedication and passion have truly made this podcast a winner. Guest. We also want to extend a big shout-out to our listeners, who have been with us every step of the way. Your support and enthusiasm have been our driving force, and we couldn't have done it without you. Host. Now, folks, before we say goodbye, make sure to follow us on social media to keep up with the latest news, updates, and sneak peeks for our upcoming episodes. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as at 4-Year Starter Podcast. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and let us know who your favorite 4-year starters are. Guest. And don't forget to mark your calendars because we've got another action-packed episode coming up tomorrow. We'll be diving deep into the mental and emotional challenges that 4-year starters face, so you don't want to miss it. Host. That's right. So, lace up your sneakers, grab your favorite game day snack, and join us right back here tomorrow for another dose of 4-Year Starter. Until then, keep chasing your dreams, and remember, in the game of life, we're all 4-year starters. Upbeat music fades out.